on the morning of March 26, the steamship Fiji passed through the Golden Gate into San Francisco Bay. A passenger named Wilhelm Heft stood at the rail. Ashore, two men watched the ship through powerful binoculars. Like Heft, they consulted their watches frequently. At the precise stroke of 10, Wilhelm Heft dropped an object into the turbulent waters of San Francisco Bay. I'd gone back to Coronado on temporary reserve duty with the Navy's underwater demolition teams, the outfit I served with in 2 wars.
Fellas, I want to make a point, and I want to make it stick. You've got to stay alert down there. Underwater warfare is exactly like aerial warfare. A fighter pilot at 30,000 feet that lets a guy get on his tail is a dead pigeon. It's the same thing underwater. You're fighting in a 3-dimensional medium. Bill! Take over, fella. Yes, sir?
Well, I'm sorry to pull you away like this, Bill, but something special just came up.
Well, if it's another war, you can count me out. 2's my limit. I can't stretch my luck to a 3rd.
No. Your services have been requested by the Treasury Department.
Why me?
Because they're trying to prevent a crime which may involve underwater work in San Francisco Bay. Now, you know what the Bay is. It's a swimmer's nightmare. How many men do you know who could buck those murderous currents?
Oh, a dozen maybe in the whole country.
You know anybody in the San Francisco area?
2 or 3 if they're still around.
Well, that's why Arnett picked you, to find out which one it might be. Any questions?
No questions, sir. Just a request. Tell them to get somebody else.
You're it. Nobody else knows frogmen the way you do.
That's exactly why I don't want the job. I'm not one of those cloak and dagger guys. Yet you expect me to go to San Francisco, mix with all my old friends, and if I do find the one who's involved in this, plant a knife in his back.
Well, when I turn that into official language, that's exactly what your orders are going to say. Good luck, Bill.
That you, Betty?
Yeah, Pop, it's me.
Why so droopy? Tummy ache?
No.
School let out early?
I didn't go back after lunch. Going somewhere?
San Francisco. Stay with the Fieldings while I'm gone. Anything you want to tell me?
Don't crush them.
So you cut class. You must have had a good reason.
Yeah. I'm not very popular in school right now. What's up in San Francisco?
What's down here, baby? Come on, tell old Pop.
Don't treat me like a little girl. I'm not a little girl.
Well, you're acting like one. You've got a problem, so let's unwrap it and have a look at it.
Well, Tina Ward invited all the kids to her birthday party, except me.
So it'll be a dull party.
It's not funny. Don't you understand? Everybody's invited.
What'd you do to Tina?
I socked her.
Why'd you do that?
She was making fun of me because I live on a boat, and she called me a beachcomber. Said she didn't want any tugboat patties at her party.
Did you hit her hard?
Hard enough.
Come on, sweetheart, sit down. Patty, darling, socking your hostess is the easiest way not to get invited to a party. And when you used your fists, that made you a tugboat, Patty. I guess I'll have to sell the boat and get a job ashore.
Oh, no. You're not going to stick me in any old house. I couldn't sleep nights.
Well, if you like living on a boat, why do you get insulted when they call you names?
Well, what would you do if somebody called you something pretty awful?
I wouldn't go to their party.
All right, that settles it. I won't go.
Time for me to go, Patty. You know where I can be reached in San Francisco.
You won't go till you look at me, Patty. I know how rough it is on you to be left alone, but I'll be alone, too. Remember when your mother was still with us, how we promised that we'd look out for each other? Well, the best way to do that now is to hold a happy thought. So come on, think of something funny.
I can't think of anything funny.
During the war, the Germans printed a lot of those counterfeit banknotes. They were the finest our experts had ever seen. You can understand why. The engravers who made the plates were the finest in Germany. Not criminals, but professionals of long experience. A few months ago, an informant in Baghdad tipped us off that the plates were in Iraq. We tracked the man who had the plates clear across the Orient. And we learned that he was a passenger aboard the SS Fiji under the name of Wilhelm Heft, due to arrive in San Francisco the 26th of March. The Fiji docked 2 days ago. Heft was arrested, his baggage searched, nothing incriminating was found. I sent one of my agents ashore impersonating Heft and using his hotel reservation. Soon after he checked in, my agent received a phone call. I'd like you to listen to it.
Hello? Hello, this is Max. Yes, this is Heft. Did you drop it on time? Yeah, I did, right on time. Good. Then we will get it. No later than Saturday. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Well, that's plain enough. They dropped the plates into the water. And that's the reason for the emphasis on the time factor. Triangulation. An observer here, for instance, on Telegraph Hill, and another one, say, on Angel Island, could get accurate cross bearings. They'd know exactly where to pick the plates out of the water.
That's the way we figured it. Now your job is to find the frogman who's set to make the pickup.
Well, how much time do I have?
Well, you heard the recording, no later than Saturday. We've got to stop this before it happens, Bill.
Well, I may need help with some addresses. The ones I have may be out of date.
I'll get you all the help you need. Righto. Thank you.
Now, I suppose it's up to me to find out which one of these men is involved in this. Baudry, Kinman, Centauri. All good friends of mine. Suppose I offer them a job that'll take them out of this area immediately. The ones that accept, well, we can rule them out.
What kind of jobs, Bill?
Something that pays well. Not too tough. Something that a man in his right mind couldn't possibly turn down, unless he had something better. Out there in the bay. The first man I went to see was Johnny Baudry. Johnny had been with me at the Incheon landing. When a mortar shell fragment smashed my shoulder, he was one of the team of men who swam me out to safety. Johnny Baudry?
Greer! Bill Greer! What do you say, buddy? A long time no see.
A long time since that deal at Incheon. How you doing?
Fine, great. Say, how'd you find me?
Oh, very simple. I just asked the first good-looking girl I met. Johnny Baudry, she says. Sure, I know him. I looked up your service record.
Does that mean you're still in?
Reserve.
UDT. That's pretty dull, isn't it? I mean, nobody taking pot shots at you?
Is that your boat, Johnny?
Oh, no. I'm just a plain old-fashioned deckhand. But if you're looking to buy a boat...
No, I'm looking for you, Johnny.
I don't owe you any money, do I?
No, I got a job for you. Hawaii. Top civilian pay, some harbor demolition. You interested?
Could be.
If you are, you'll have to be ready to leave the first thing in the morning.
That's no strain. I got no strings on me here. You got yourself a deal, Bill.
Good. You call me at the Empire Hotel the first thing in the morning, and I'll give you the whole poop then.
Will do.
Bye, John. I didn't like what I had done, offering that phony assignment to Johnny Baudry, but at least it cleared him. I went looking for the next man on my list, Whitey Kinman. I'd gone through the whole war in the Pacific with Whitey, from Kwajalein to Okinawa.
I learned that he could be found at the maritime hiring hole on the Embarcadero.
For the SS Iberian, for Valparaiso and Montevideo, Pier 17, 1 able seaman, 1 steward for officers' mess.
Hello, Whitey. Oh, come on, Whitey. You haven't forgotten me, have you?
Greer? You're Bill Greer. You seaman now?
No, still with the old outfit. UDT still in business, you know.
Yeah?
Remember Quadrillane? The day you stacked those charges against the Coral Heads? Boy, I sure learned some new cuss words that day.
That was a long time ago. Like it never happened.
Still keeping up with your diving?
I'm a third engineer now. That keeps me busy. That underwater stuff is for the young fellas.
You're young enough to take on a civilian underwater assignment.
You offering me a job?
I am. Honolulu area. Top pay and top conditions. Your service record says you're just the guy for the job.
You looked it up, did you? Well, look it up again. You'll find I got an honorable discharge with no strings attached. Now leave me alone.
For the SS Peninsula Mariner, for Honolulu, 1 third engineer, 1 quartermaster, 2 able seamen.
That means you, Whitey. If you're a third engineer.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Sure. If you change your mind about the job, you can call me at the Empire Hotel. Whitey Kinman acted like a man who had a lot on his mind. It was plain to me that something pretty serious was bothering him. I wondered if it was a job under the waters of the bay. I knew he was powerful enough to handle it, but so was Joe Centauri, the next man on my list, who worked as a bartender in a beatnik hangout on North Beach.
Look, man, to go back in that outfit, I'd have to have a hole in my head. When I go skin diving, it's strictly for pleasure.
There's good money in it, Joe.
I'm making enough dough right here in San Francisco.
What do you do most of your skin diving?
Oh, around. Carquinez, Sausalito, the Point.
Ever go out in the bay?
One thing about me, I like to stay in shape. Never know when it comes in handy.
You didn't answer my question, Joe.
You didn't expect an answer, did you?
Just curious.
You want a drink?
No, thanks. See you, Joe.
Hope you find the guy you're looking for.
All right, Bill. Centauri or Kinman? Which of the two do you think it'll be?
I don't know. Could be neither.
Well, that's real helpful.
Sam, this is just a hunch on your part. It may not even pay off. The real man may be coming in from out of town, if there is such a man.
You sure hate this job, don't you, Bill? Well, I don't care how you feel, you're going through with it. Why do you suppose the government drives so hard against counterfeiters? The Secret Service will spend $1 million if necessary to nail even a little penny ante counterfeiting ring that'll never put out $20,000 worth of the queer stuff. And do you know why? Because nothing, and I mean nothing, must compromise the integrity of the United States currency. And remember, those plates out there in that bay waiting to be picked up are the very best counterfeits ever made.
Okay, Sam, okay, I'll go through with it. I don't have to like it, but I'll go through with it.
All right. Kinman or Centauri? You got to pin down which one.
We're working on it. If anything comes up, you can call me on the police radio. I'll be with the lieutenant. Hello, Whitey. Mind if we come in? This is Lieutenant Dimmick of the police department.
What do you want?
We want to ask you a couple of questions.
Couldn't it wait until morning?
No, it couldn't. What did you do after Mr. Greer saw you at the hiring hall?
What is this, Greer? Why do I have to answer a lot of questions?
Because I haven't had a straight answer out of you since I spoke to you this morning. When I asked you why you didn't take that third engineer's job, you told me to mind my own business. But you didn't take it or the job I offered you. Because you got something better. Fishing that hot stuff out of the bay. That's the truth, isn't it, Whitey?
George? What is it, George?
This is a policeman, Kitty. And this is my old friend, Bill Greer. He thinks I'm mixed up in some sort of crooked deal.
Crooked deal? My husband?
It's all right, honey. It's all right. You know, a man doesn't give you straight answers, Bill. Doesn't always mean he's mixed up in something crooked. I would like to have taken that job you offered me this morning. I'd like to ship out as third engineer on that freighter to Honolulu. I didn't, because there's no one to take care of my wife while I'm gone. So I sit around the hiring halls waiting for local jobs. And it's mighty slim pickings, believe me. So now you know why I don't like people offering me out-of-town jobs.
Sorry, Whitey. Forgive me. Well, I guess it's Santori.
We'll have him before the night's out. Come on, you'd better get some rest.
I thought it was Johnny Beaudry calling about that dummy assignment when the phone rang next morning. But it was only the desk calling. It was almost 9 o'clock, and I told Beaudry to call me at 8. I began to wonder about it.
Get Santori.
No sign of him. He didn't get home all night.
Came down here looking for Beaudry. He was supposed to call me about the job I offered him, but he didn't. Now his boat's gone.
Santori, Beaudry. They both dropped out of sight.
John, I've got a hunch. I don't know how you feel about hunches, but I'll bet my last dollar the attempt is going on right now.
Code 528, stolen cabin cruiser, suspect Caucasian, dark, 510, weight 170.
Santori,
Could be.
I've got to get to work.
Sam Arnett arranged for a Coast Guard helicopter to drop me into San Francisco Bay on the course of the SS Fiji. If Beaudry or Santori swam outbound on the same course, we were sure to meet. An intensive search went on in the meantime for Beaudry's fishing boat and the stolen cruiser. It was going to be a long, cold swim with no help at hand if anything went wrong. A helicopter overhead or a Coast Guard cutter on the surface might give the whole show away. So I asked them to stay clear. I swam the track of the SS Fiji by dead reckoning. I had to think of my air supply. It was good for another half hour at most. Then I saw it. The movement of air bubbles from somebody's aqualung gear. The swimmer was coming toward me. There are many hiding places underwater. The problem is the air exhaust. I tried to hide mine by venting the air into patches of kelp that broke up the eye-catching pattern. I had to shadow the man to allow him to lead me to the plates. If I scared him off or even captured him, there were still men ashore who knew just where the plates were. They'd try again, maybe months later, when there was no one around to stop them. When I saw the man begin a systematic search, I knew this was the area where the plates had been dropped. His search took him closer and closer to where I was hiding. The next circle he made would take him right to me. I released a signal buoy. The movement caught his eye. He saw me. Hoping it wouldn't be you, Johnny.
I didn't cry once while you were gone. You can ask Mrs. Fielding. I didn't cry once.
Oh, not even a little?
Well, maybe a little.